Mai had magical powers and was much better at everything than his four foster brothers. They planned to go fishing the next day, but had not told Mai, as they were jealous and did not want him to come. Early next morning, Mai hid himself in the bottom of the brothers' locker. His brothers laughed as they set off, little knowing that Mai was going with them. They paddled out, beyond the breakers, until they found a good place to fish. But it was not good enough for Mai. He sprang from his hiding place in the bottom of the locker. The brothers, still shocked by Mai's magical appearance, obeyed his order to paddle on. On and on they paddled. They begged Mai to stop, but he would not. As the sun began to set, the land was already out of sight. All that night, Mai paddled by the light of Marama, the moon. One by one, his brothers fell asleep. The sea mail slipped beneath the rocker as something drove Mai on and on. Morning found the brothers grumpy and surly. Mai was at last satisfied with the fishing place, but as revenge, his brothers would give him no bait. So he struck himself on the nose and smeared the magic jawbone with his own blood. Around and around his head he whirled the jawbone of his ancestor. Out and up it crept. Then he flung it free into the ocean. The line plunged deep into the ocean like a taiaha. The bone struck something big. Mai did not know what he had snared. He was not landing a fish, but fishing a land. He tugged. He wrenched. He heaved. He strained with every muscle in his body. At the bottom of the ocean, something began to stir. Above, Mai chanted karakia that passed down into the great fish. Maui called on the fish to rise up, but it knew the sea was its home and it began to fight. Mai braced himself as the sea began to churn and boil. Planting his feet, he started pulling the line. His brothers made no move to help him, and they clung to the bucking craft. The fish thrashed in fury, but his strength was no match for Maui's will. The fish ballooned to the surface. And what a fish it was! Its tail stretched away to the north, and its head lay far in the south. But the moment Mai was out of sight, his brothers began to hack up their share. For after all, hadn't they helped with the paddling? The great fish writhed in agony as the paddle blade sliced into his flesh. In no time, his once smooth back was a jagged mass of valleys and ranges. The fish of Maui was now a rugged land. We live on Te Ika a Maui at this very moment, for he is the North Island of New Zealand. Doesn't he rather look like a battered stingray?